begin by just introducing you briefly to SmartLinc, the company, and the relationship that we do have with Sage. I'll then discuss the various solutions or versions which we do offer for the Sage 100 ERP product. I'll then discuss some of the exclusive features of the SmartLinc interface. And then we'll talk about specifically what we need to know about customers when they are interested in shipping integration, what we need to know about them specifically in order to, one, not only recommend the appropriate solution, but two, it can also help us to create a return on investment analysis for that customer to help cost justify the purchase of our system. After that, we'll get into the live demonstration where I will process a few shipments, and you can see that. And then after that, I'll open up the floor for any questions that you might have. All right? So what to know about SmartLinc? Just know that SmartLinc is actually the company, and we are also the developer of the product, which is called Process Shipper. We're located here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and for 16 years, really the core focus of what we do has always been focused on custom shipping integration. So we've helped hundreds of customers bridge the gap between shipping and their MIS in order to eliminate double entry, increase productivity, and oftentimes even improve cash flow. We are Sage's endorsed partner for the shipping integration. We are very proud of that. They went out in 2011 and looked at all the top solutions available, and after 7 months selected SmartLinc as the best in breed. So prior to being able to offer our products to end users, we had to go through a rather rigorous certification and testing process to ensure that our products did in fact work with the entire suite of Sage MIS solutions. And being a Sage endorsed product, the product will be ordered as well as supported through the Sage channel and their resellers. This slide again is simply just reiterates the fact that we are Sage's endorsed solution. The endorsed solutions are really handpicked by Sage, and the Sage name does stand behind the product that you're going to see today. Now, as I mentioned, we do offer a few different flavors or packages of our product, and the first level is our Gold package. The Gold package is a great fit for companies that primarily ship all of their shipments with small parcel carriers like UPS, FedEx, United States Postal Service, DHL, Canada Post, and so on. So customers that primarily ship, 95 to 100% of their shipments are going out via small parcel carriers. The Gold package is an excellent fit. The workflow continues that the shipper will continue to use the shipment data entry screen in Sage 100 to print the packing list. The Platinum package comes with all of the small parcel carriers, but it adds the addition of LTL processing, or less than truckload. Those are the big 18-wheelers that come to pick up pallets. So we can process the bill of lading and create all of the documentation that goes along with those types of shipments. And also with this workflow, the packing list will continue to be printed from the shipment data entry screen in Sage 100. Now finally, the Diamond package is our basically enterprise solution, and it comes with all of the small parcels as well as LTL processing, but the workflow is a little bit different. This is actually what we call a one-step pack and ship. So Sage 100 will no longer be required at the shipping station. They would simply access the Process Shipper product, pack the products in Process Shipper, and Process Shipper would in turn print the packing list and automatically create the shipment in Sage 100 behind the scenes. So today's presentation, I'm going to show the Gold package, and then I also will demonstrate the Diamond package to show the differences in the workflow. Now, when we started working with the Sage 100 ERP, we discovered that there were some information fields which would help to automate the shipping process. So what we did was actually develop 75 new data fields inside of Sage 100. So this is just one example of some of the data that we have added, and it's called shipping options. So basically, we can default a certain information so the shipper does not have to remember to input this type of information. For instance, we can default a ship via method directly at the customer level. So if the customer always likes their shipments to go out UPS ground, we can always default that at the customer. If they always like their shipments to go out maybe third party, in this case it says shipper, but if it was third party, we could actually store that third party customer account information directly in Sage 100. So again, things that aren't available today, you can have access to with our interface, okay? And I'll go in a little bit more detail into that during the demonstration. But just know that regardless of which package you do purchase, it does include the Sage 100 interface. It includes all of the installation as well as the training. Anytime that Sage makes a version upgrade or Process Shipper has an upgrade, those are all covered as well. There is an annual phone support fee, but that does include unlimited support calls. So we feel we try not to nickel and dime you for everything. We like to, try to include everything in a package style. Now, Process Shipper is a web-based application. So what does that really mean to you? Well, we install the product on your server at your site. So everything is centrally located and easily managed. So there is no software that needs to be installed on individual workstations or PCs. So again, everything's on the server. Being web-based means that you can access the software from any device that has an internet connection. So we all have smartphones and our tablets and, of course, PCs and laptops. But again, if you're out in the field at a customer site, they're wondering, did my package ship? You can access our software and answer that question immediately. Now, when we first meet with a client, we need to know some information regarding their current shipping operations for a number of reasons. As I mentioned, it helps to determine whether the gold, platinum, or diamond package is a good fit. And it also, again, helps us to configure that proposal and create the return on investment analysis. So we like to know how many physical locations or addresses that customer ships from. We like to know what carriers they use for small parcels, whether that's FedEx, UPS, how much they're doing per day, how many packages, and how many shipping stations they have. We also like to know if they do international processing. Oftentimes there comes a lot of documentation with international shipments that is very time consuming, and we can take those processes from 15 to 20 minutes down to a matter of seconds. Do they have various departments that need to have access to shipment information? For instance, sales folks might need to generate freight quotes up front at the time of sales order entry. Maybe management needs to have access to shipment reports to do auditing for carrier bills, things like that, and so on. So it's being web-based, again, we install it on the server so multiple departments can have access, not just shipping. We also like to know if they do LTL processing, again, because that's going to determine which product is best for them. And again, with LTL shipments, there is a lot of documentation that can be very time-consuming, which is required for those LTL shipments. And again, we can take those types of processes from minutes down to a matter of seconds by creating all of the documents automatically. Do they send any type of email notification today to their customers saying, here's the shipment, it's gone out, here's the tracking number? Do they get chargebacks from the carriers for bad or incorrect addresses? We can save companies actually hard dollars by cleansing those U.S. and Canadian addresses down to the suite or apartment level and also marking them as residential. With our product, there is no end-of-day process for the small parcel carriers. Everything is processed in real time. So there are no freight updates that you need to do or rate change updates. Everything is in real time. And also, do they mark up their freight today? We can automate their business rules to mark up their freight by package, by a certain handling charge, by a percentage, so we can help turn their shipping department into a profit center. So again, these are just typical things that we like to know about their shipping operations, to get a feel for what product is best and how can we help cost justify the acquisition. So at this point, I'm going to simply go into the live demonstration, and as I mentioned, I'm going to start off by processing a small parcel shipment utilizing the gold package, and then we'll show you how the workflow differs with the diamond package, and I will process an LTL shipment and show you how how we create the bill of lading and all of the packing lists and pallet labels and all of that. Okay. All right. So let me get out of here. I'll bring up my remote desktop. And you should be seeing the Sage 100 sales order entry and the shipment data entry screen. So I'm going to start by simply just generating a new order here. And I'm going to select just the first customer from the list. Now again, I just want to point out some of these exclusive features of the SmartLinc interface. And I'm going to start by showing you these shipment options. And I'm going to do that by selecting the customer number. And it's going to bring up the customer maintenance screen. By selecting more over here on the right-hand side, you can see that there's a new area here called Shipping Options. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. So you can see for this particular customer, AAA, that they like to have all of their shipments go out via UPS next day air, and it looks like the shipping company is actually going to be paying the freight. If they prefer to have their third-party account information, again, we can store that here directly at the customer level. So all of this data is going to be pulled into the shipping station, so the shipper does not have to remember that it's third party. They have to put in the account number and so on. So it takes a lot of the touch points out of the equation. We can also do things like blind shipping and packing options as well. So I'm just going to cancel out of here and not save those changes, but go back to the order. Now you'll also notice here at the order level, we also have those same shipment options. So I showed you those shipment options at the customer level. Now if, for instance, they simply wanted this particular order to be billed third party, I can do that directly here at the order level. So again, those are exclusive to the SmartLinc interface. Going on here, we see that the bill to address and ship to addresses are already filled in here. That hasn't changed. And we're going to select some items to be shipped, and in this case, I'll select a filing cabinet, and we'll simply order 2 of those. So at this point, we're pretty much ready to post the order and accept that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now we're in the shipment data entry screen. I knew that order was number 289, so I'm going to simply enter that, and you can see it brings in our items here. I'm going to simply go ahead and pack all of these items into one box. When we select the shipping tab, you can see that there is a new SmartLinc button located here in the bottom right-hand corner, and this is what we're going to select to ship the product. Again, just want to point out that the shipment options that we've added are again available here at the shipping level. So we have those options at the customer, the order level, and the shipment level. But I'm going to go ahead and simply select the SmartLinc button. And what it's doing right now is opening up my web browser, and it's going to open up Process Shipper, and it's going to fill in all of the information from Sage 100 into the shipping screen. So you can see here that it pulled in the ship to information. That customer, again, liked their shipment to go out UPS next day air. The shipper is paying the freight. And we also pulled in the weight of the product. So at this point, the shipper is literally done. All they have to do is select Process Shipment. And as I mentioned, everything is processed in real time. So we're actually going out to ups.com, and it's as if you were putting in an account number and processing that shipment. The label image that you'll see here in a second, we actually obtained directly from UPS. This would normally print to your thermal label printer, but I'm simply showing it to the screen today so you can see the image. Now when we look at the order back in Sage 100 for $289, we can see that it's shipped. And we do have the weight. Here's the freight charge of $42.35. And when we select the tracking button, we can see that the tracking number was put back, as well as the freight charge and the weight. So all of that was done automatically. And now you can literally invoice for that product. You don't have to wait for the carrier bill, again, because we're processing everything in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and now demonstrate the diamond package and show you how the workflow is just slightly different and the documents that we create with that. So again, I'm just simply going to select a new order number. In this case it's 290. And I'm going to select the customer from the list. And looks like this customer may be going out via LTL. So again, here we have our address information, bill to, ship to. I'm going to add some lines, and we'll add the filing cabinet, but let's order 10 of them in this case. So we have a few more to put on some pallets. And again, at this point, we are ready to accept the order. So I'm going to go ahead and accept and accept. So now instead of going into the shipment data entry screen, I'm now at the shipping station, and I would be the shipper. So I'm going to simply enter in my username and password. And here we have the same shipping screen. So instead of entering that data into the shipping entry screen, I'm going to enter it into process shipper here. I got a 0. And you can see that all of the information is again pulled in from Sage 100. So we have the ship to information. You can see that the carrier now, instead of UPS, is now set to LTL. In this case, it's Conway, but we do have some other LTL carriers. You can change it here if you need to. And what's different in this case is we've actually brought in the line items now. So the shipper is going to identify either what's going into each box or what's going onto each pallet. So in this case, I'll pack 6 of those filing cabinets onto the first pallet. You can see that it brings the packaged items over to the right-hand side. And if your scale was integrated, it would automatically read the weight. I don't have a scale here, so I'm just going to manually enter that in. And I'm going to pack the remaining 4 items, which you can see I have 4 remaining from the 10. And I'm simply going to select Pack All, and that's going to deplete my quantity, and I'll put in another weight here. So at this point, we are literally done with the shipment. I've simply packed those items onto 2 pallets, and we can process the shipment. You can see that we've already automatically generated a pro number for that carrier, so we can automate that step, which is typically manual for companies today, and we can barcode that as well on the bill of lading, so you'll see that. So at this point, again, all I'm going to do is select Process the Shipment, and what it's going to do is create a standard VIX bill of lading, a packing list, 2 pallet labels, and it's going to update Sage 100 automatically with all of those details. So first, I'm going to bring up my bill of lading. And again, this is a standard VIX bill of lading, VICS, industry standard. Again, we've barcoded that pro number here, so the carrier can simply come in, scan that barcode, pick up the pallets, and be on their way. We have standard information, ship from, ship to, bill to. And then you can see that there were 2 pallets, there were 10 items, for a total of weight of 400. Now I'm going to show you the packing list, which was generated again from Process Shipper. It has standard information. You can put your logo. If you do blind shipping, you can put your customer's logo up here. And it has the basic ship from and ship to. But what we've added is you can see here now that the customer knows it went out FedEx Freight Economy. And here's the tracking number, and there were 2 pallets. Now what's also really nice is that we've identified what products are on each pallet. So you can see that there was 1 pallet with 6 of these filing cabinets, and there was 1 pallet with 4 for a total of 10. Now if you do have your own company vehicles, this is a nice document that you can use to capture signatures at the time of delivery. Now we'll go back and just take a look at our 2 pallet labels. And you can print as many of these as you need. Again, it identifies what was on each pallet. So you can, it's very small, but it does say that there were 6 on this one and that there were 4 on this pallet. Now when I go back to Sage 100 and I enter in that shipment number 290, you can see that our products have been marked as shipped. And when we go into the shipping tab, we can see that the weight was 400 pounds. The freight charge was $133.80. There were 2 pallets. And when we select the tracking button, we can see that both pallets are identified with the freight charges broken out based upon the weight. So again, the diamond is going to, you don't have to use the shipment data entry screen at the shipping station. Everything's going to be processed within the Process Shipper software. The gold package, again, is going to utilize both the sales order and the shipment data entry screen. and the shipper will simply select the SmartLinc button to complete the transaction. So those are the different workflows. Process Shipper has other features, as I mentioned. For salespersons, for example, if they ever need to obtain freight quotes, they can do this directly from their desk. They don't have to call shipping or go online to multiple carriers. They can simply enter in an estimated weight of the product, the zip code that it's coming from, the zip code it's going to. Oops, sorry. And the country, and we'll simply add the package. We'll hit Get Quote. And it's actually going to shop the carriers. And you can see here that we have a couple UPS services that will get it there the next day. And we also have a United States Postal Service that will get it there the next day. And you can see the differences in cost. So if you knew that the product needed to be there by 8 o'clock on the next day, then you'd probably have to pay the $83. But if it wasn't too time sensitive, just had to be there by the end of the day, you could pick Express Mail for $29 and save a whole lot of money. So we can save those types of quotes. If I select the carrier, I can go down here and save the quote for future reference. There's also a very nice manifest information, basically an inquiry piece. The fields at the top are all of the fields which you can search for data upon. This is all stored in a SQL database. So for example, I can look at all of the shipments that were shipped for UPS for a certain date range. Let's just go back a month or so, and we'll display all the shipments to a grid. This grid can easily be exported to Excel by simply clicking this Export to Excel button. I don't know if I have Excel open. Let's see here. So if management ever needs to obtain reports, if you have customers that say, can you tell me what you shipped for me this entire week, you can have that information at your fingertips in a matter of seconds. So you have all the tracking numbers. Basically any information that you need to know about those shipments, we can have in a matter of seconds. Also, if you simply select the reference number here, it will give you detailed information on an individual shipment basis, the quantity, what the specific product was, the tracking number, and the freight. So very nice if you need to access historical data. So I guess at this point, that was really what I wanted to show you regarding the product and its functionality. Obviously, we'd love to meet with all of you individually one-on-one and tailor the demonstration to fit your needs. If you are interested, please contact your Sage reseller or folks here at SmartLinc, and we'd be happy to get on your calendar and show you the product. So I'm going to, I guess, open it at this time for any questions. You can either type it into the chat box, and let me just make sure I'm going to unmute everyone. If I have that. So are there any questions at this time? Okay, well, it doesn't sound like there are any questions. If you do have any inquiries, please email me or call me directly. I can be reached, and we'd be more than happy to help you. And I want to make sure, just in case there are any last questions, but I don't think so. So thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it. You taking a look at Sage 100 Integrated Shipping, and we look forward to hopefully meeting you soon. Thank you.